Hey folks, how's it going? Coach Patrick here, Endurance Nation. Excited to connect with you on another Coach 15 Minutes. This is time of the week where both folks on the team and also folks in our broader circle, people who are friends and fans on Facebook or former members, teammates, acquaintances, etc., get a chance to connect with us online as well. Until now, it's the end of March here. I've been doing this on Fridays at noon, and starting in April, I'll be doing this a little earlier in the week. I will be doing it on Wednesdays, a new extension for us, Wednesdays at noon. So do stay tuned for that. I'm excited to make the move and to have you join me on Wednesdays. Hump day, right? Let's talk on hump day. It'd be different than Friday. Friday rolls around. All I could think about is the weekend. All I could think about is opportunity. And I want to make sure that you feel, as connected as possible. And, you're excited, to focus on what we're going to talk about for the day. So in today's brief conversation, two things are going to happen. The first is going to be a little bit about me talking about your season and events. And the second piece is going to be an opportunity for Q&A. So if folks are joining here in the chat, I can see the comments when you type them inside the Facebook box. They show up on the page. I'll put them on the screen, and I'll answer your questions live right here on the broadcast. I have a couple questions that I brought over from the team as well, so I can always go there. It's about a 15-minute episode, so keep it short and sweet. So I want to talk a little bit about missing events. This has been a theme for a while now, and I know you feel it too. The drama when you see something pop up on your social media feed, wherever you are, that says, I don't know, Rock and Roll Marathon has a broadcast. Ironman has a broadcast. Boston Marathon has a broadcast. And people are like, oh, dear God, what is going to be said to me now? What's going to happen? And more often than not, there's not a lot of clarity, right? Like we just found out in the cycling world, those of you who are cycling fans, raise your hand. That's me. Paris-Roubaix, right? They haven't officially announced it, but they pretty much announced it. If not by now, they have announced it. It's not going to happen because of the lockdown in northern France. And this is just the world that we live in. And so people are still struggling with the fact that the race may or may not happen. And I've just got to be direct with you guys. Let's get it together. If your race isn't going to happen, it's not going to happen. And if you're surprised by the fact that your race might not happen right now, I don't know what rock you've been living under. I'm not under there. Get out from under the rock and join the rest of us. Missed events are an opportunity for you. Missed events are an opportunity for you to do more with your training, more with your fitness, and have more fun. Right. So I understand that some people like the feel of having sort of events on the schedule or constraints built into your year. That gives you a sense of comfort, of guidance that we're moving. Right. If we were bowling, you want those little inflatable bumpers that go in the gutters. So you know that you're going to throw the ball and it's going to go all the way down there. It's going to hit those pins. I get it. That's not the way that life works. We've had it pretty good for a long time as endurance athletes, and we live in a space now where we are subject to the same volatility that many other areas of our lives are normally subject to, and we have to adapt. And so I really encourage you to get as independent as possible and to get out and explore, get outside of the normal space. And the reason why I'm excited about this as a coach is that it can take years for an athlete to build up the confidence and the interest and the means essentially to adventure beyond where they are, right? So for many people in the world of long course triathlon, for example, doing an Ironman is the pinnacle. There's many other things you can do if you have fitness to do an Ironman, but most people they get to that space and they're happy in that space. They kind of carve out a little home. They say, this is where I want to be. However, there's so much more beyond that. But if you've got races on the schedule, you end up in sort of this repeated cycle, like a Groundhog Day, where you're going from training for a race, signing up for a race, training for a race, doing a race, recovering, but you've already signed up for a race. So now you're training for a race, so you're doing a race, and you end up in this cycle. And all of a sudden, after a couple of years, you wake up and say, wait a minute, what's going on? Where am I, right? This is an opportunity to break that cycle and say, what else can I do? And there's lots of things you can do as an endurance athlete. First and foremost, just getting outside. As you have probably seen or heard, the majority of Americans here in the US are outside doing stuff. Whether or not they have masks on is a different story, but they're outside explorifying, and you should also do it as well. Whether it's on 2 wheels or your own 2 feet or some other form of modality, get out there. The weather is finally changing here. Spring is basically upon us. Now's a great time to get out there. Go for long runs, go for long rides, go for long hikes. There's lots of ways you can be active and challenge yourself from a fitness perspective that don't require you to run a certain pace or ride at a certain wattage or, swim and then bike and then run a certain amount. Those are the artificial constraints that your races put upon you. but we can break free of that and we can do more. And I really encourage you to do it. So some quick examples of athletes I feel like who are really maximizing their time. Athletes who are doing things like this Everesting or virtual Everesting challenge that I just undertook, which is nothing like the real thing. It's just virtual in a video game. That's a big cycling challenge. You have to train for the cycling challenge. You have to do it. It gets you out of your normal bubble. You're solving for things like recovery, nutrition, bicycle fit, strategy, course, weather, things that you would not normally solve for. But getting in that mode of doing it gets you kind of back that same sort of race day feels. We're excited about what we're doing, which is really important. Other folks are putting together lots of running or big run weeks or back-to-back run exploring blocks. That's super fun to see people doing long trail runs and stacking those up on a Saturday and a Sunday, going out running, going camping, doing a big run, camp overnight, do another big run, go home. That's awesome to see. We've got athletes who maximize their winter, skinning up mountains, right? Skin up, ski down, 8-10 hour days, adventuring, off the grid with friends, doing some great stuff. There's huge opportunities out there for you to do more with your fitness. You just have to look and take the time. It's hard, speaking of time, to create. And this is where the real friction comes in. It's hard to create the time for the adventuring when you don't have that event on the horizon, because that event in a way gives you permission to do other stuff. You wouldn't normally ride your bike 5 hours this weekend or run 3 hours this weekend, but you will if you have an event. But without that event, then you aren't blocking off that time. And if you're not blocking off that time, it's not going to happen. So you still have to, at your core, set some priorities athletically that fit your life, that fit work, etc., so you can be active and you can continue to see growth and development. But let's just put an end to the hand-wringing and the concerns around what it means to be successful. Races do not make successful athletes. Successful athletes have successful races. That's about it. All right, awesome. So I'll get off my soapbox for now. So sorry, I've had a little extra caffeine this morning, a bonus caffeine day on Friday. So would love to hear from the audience here. I see we got 4 or 5 people here in the audience. If there are any questions that you have related to training or related to racing, I'm happy to talk to you now. You can just go ahead and type them in the comment section. While I'm waiting to see if you guys are going to type anything in there, I'll just remind everyone, we did push out the Phoenix Challenge, Double Century Challenge, June 10th to 12th. You can learn more at mile18inc.com. I'll put the notes in the comments here as well when we're done. There's 100 spots to join on the adventure. It's a 2-day cycling adventure, over 100 miles one way, over 10,000 feet of climbing. We're going to go out, spend a night, come back. We're all socially distanced. We're outside. You can stay in your own hotel room, whatever you want to do. It's in the Mid-Atlantic on Skyline Drive, so very accessible to almost everyone on the East Coast. Definitely worth checking out. Early bird invites for extra bonus swag end on Monday, the 29th at noon. So go to mile18inc.com and drop your stuff in there so we can know for sure. All right. That'd be great to hear. Oh, wow. We've had about 8 more people just join us. Hey, it's Q&A time, folks. If you've got questions, I've got answers. Feel free to go ahead and type it right in the comment box on your phone or on your browser or wherever you are. I'll see it pop up here, and I'll definitely go ahead and answer. Just got done talking about the importance of making the most of a season without real races in it, because it's a great time to grow and develop as an athlete. Another great thing that you can be doing right now, which I get a lot, is people are asking me about equipment upgrades. Normally, again, races force decision-making processes around equipment. So what equipment upgrades do you want to make? And what's great about seasons like this is that you're going to be making investments in your training setup. So I appreciate that someone wants to go out and buy new wheels or new racing flats or a new race vest or whatever it may be. That's awesome, right? That's super cool. They're super sexy, but you only use them a couple times a year. I'm significantly happier when athletes want to make investments into their training infrastructure, right? Someone says, I got new aero bars and they're 4 grams lighter and they point up a little bit more and they're pink. I'm like, that's great. And then someone comes along and says, I got a pull-up bar. Well, I'm jacked. I'm super pumped about that because you can use that pull-up bar every day. It can make a fundamental difference. You can use it for pull-ups or for abs. It's going to develop your back, your arms, your core strength. That's awesome. Those aero bars, man, they sure do look good, right? But that's about it. So when you think about making investments, now's a great time for you to get out there and dive into some of that training upgrade stuff. So from a training upgrade space, just some quick parameters for people to think about, right? So first and foremost, on the run side, extra pair of shoes. Can't say enough about having an extra pair of shoes. Not the same shoes. an extra pair of shoes that are maybe the same brand or same style, but different. I personally run in Hoka's. So I've got a pair of sort of like, speedier flats. And then I've also got a pair of like sort of beefy trail shoes, the Stinsons. And I alternate those shoes all the time. And it kind of gives me a sense of adventure and a different type of training piece. And it's just, it's like $100, no doubt, expensive, but that's a great investment from a training perspective. Number two on the training investment side is upgrading your navigation. Right. So if you are a cyclist, I definitely recommend that you seriously upgrade your navigation to the point where you can easily, I have a Wahoo Element, connect your phone to your bike computer. Don't have my Element with me, but you can imagine it's here. And I can send routes and everything right over to my bike computer. And I can therefore go to Strava. I can download your route from Strava. I can put it on my computer and I can ride it. And I don't have to look at directions or anything. It just tells me where to go and I ride. That's a great upgrade for training. It makes training 10 times more fun. Plus, you've got the benefit of using a brand new computer. Super awesome, right? From a swim side, the recommendation I'm making now for our endurance athletes is a pair of lava pants. Lava pants essentially are the bottom half of a wetsuit. So you can imagine sort of like capri pants from the waist down to just below the knees. It kind of gives you the feel of swimming with a wetsuit in the pool without needing the pull buoy. It's a great way to sort of add the opportunity to do an extra yardage. It's super low cost. Bonus that it also puts your body in the position of what you're normally in when you're swimming in a wetsuit, which is something that's very, very hard to replicate in a pool. If you never want to put on a full wetsuit in the pool, you'll practically dehydrate and die. But you can put on those lava pants. So that's a great investment. Again, a little over $100 if you're on the team. Inside Endurance Nation, of course, you have discounts for that as well. So think about investing in that training infrastructure as well. Super fun stuff. Okay. All right. Very cool. We're heading up on that 15-minute limit. I see we got one person left here. Does anybody, and I'm looking at you, anybody have questions about training or racing? I'm happy to help out. I'll take a sip of my coffee and see. Otherwise, I'll be back next week on a Wednesday to do this talk again. I'd love to hear from you, see what you guys have. Another theme that's been going on inside the team has been a theme of additional rest. There's a lot of challenges that happen across the life cycle of an athlete. And one of them that happens now when we have a blurred season without the lines of races with start and end points is that people can build up some pretty excessive fatigue. Having a race or having an event or having a camp is a chance to both work hard and rest. It makes sense. I just did a race. I should rest. That's the socially acceptable thing to do. Other people are resting. I guess I'll rest or maybe just go off and secret train. But when we don't have those races, we don't have those events, it's easy to skip over that rest part. It's, I just rode my bike for 6 hours with a friend. I don't need to rest. But your body feels differently. It's really important. If you're feeling fatigue, if your legs are heavy, if your resting heart rate is high, if you're just not feeling the mojo, take a day, right? Take a day, either take it off, fill it with something else. I've always got plenty of stuff to do here around my house, hammer things up, take things down that I hammered up, put down mulch, pick up mulch, rake the leaves, mow the lawn, paint something. There's always something going on here. And those projects are great to keep me active and preoccupied. I get to check a box at home and I also get to not exercise, which is super important. So just consider that your early season PSA to make sure that you're carving out enough time to rest as well. All right. Oh, hey, one last thing before I forget. I'm going to get the mock-ups pretty soon from Boko Gear for our hats. So the folks who signed up for our eEnverus Challenge, which is 3 events, they ran February, March, and eventually now will also run in May, had the opportunity to sign up for swag, which was awesome. And the folks who did sign up early, which gives a donation to the Challenge Athletes Foundation, are getting an awesome piece of swag. I'm super pumped about it. Indestructible, going to be awesome. But they also get a trucker hat. Well, now when I'm ordering the trucker hats, obviously there's a price break. Let me see what they say to me here. I wonder if I have a mock-up. I'll show you guys right now here on the screen what the mock-ups are if I've gotten them back. It's possible I don't have them yet. But let's just dive in my inbox and see. So I am going to open this up as well. Oh my goodness, look at that. It just came in 20 minutes ago. That's so funny. All right, hold on. We'll take a look at this here together. How do I download this? I'm going to download this. All right. I keep clicking the download button. Let's see if we get it. I think it's going to come in. All right. Got it here. Hold on a second. All right, I'm just going to open this up here. All right, here we go. Make sure I can do this. No. All right, we'll just try this one and we'll just see. All right, here we go. And I got to stay here so you can hear me. All right. So these are the hats that we've got going on. Let me see if I can blow this window up at all. Change anything? It changes it a little bit. All right. So we have what we have here: top mountains in the background. This will be the stitched logo here on the side. Custom brim, right? We've got under the bill. We've got options for the topography. I love that topography feel. I'm thinking of going with the darker one versus the lighter one. Curious to know what you guys think, darker or lighter, with the under the bill piece. Then we have options of being dark in the back or going light in the back and dark on the front. I got to take a look at that and see. We're going to have the tag on the side for sure. Let's see here. I don't know. I've kind of seen both, right? So, obviously, the hat here, go darker, Jason. Yeah, I was going to say, I've done the white and the white and the red. That's cool. But I definitely think I like the darker. I think I like the darker look as well. I think I want to make this. I think I want to make the. Sorry, I'm looking at it on the screen that you're looking at. I think I want to make the logo a little smaller here. It's a little too big for me. I want to be a little more discreet. Now, okay, would you say darker also for under the bill? So we've got on the left-hand side here, we've got under the bill dark with a light relief. And on this side, we've got the, much more white pronounced relief profile. And again, that's the part of your hat that fits under there as well. I'm curious to know, Jason, anyone else want to come in? Go light. Okay, so hold on a second. All right, Jason's telling me what to do. All right. Jason's saying go light in the back. All right, so you're saying, just to clarify, Jason, you're saying go dark in the front, they're all dark in the front, right? So you got dark and dark. And then you're saying go light in the back here, like this one here, saying go dark front, white in the back. And then you're saying, so I'm curious to know which ones you think darker undercuts the glare. Yeah, I agree. So we'll go dark under. So it's going to be kind of like a right, left, right. So you're saying this hat with this darker brim with the white back will make how it works, huh? Okay. Yeah, I think that, when I think about it too, I think the darker looks cooler, but if you're going to be outside and be active, at the end of the day, I think what it's going to end up being is super hot on the head. We don't want to be super duper hot either. So I do like that. All right, we got to figure out, I think for me, the big piece here is figuring out the logo. So it's the Everest, it's the 3 peaks, 3 in a row. I like the logo, but I think I want to kind of shrink that down a little bit. Yeah, right, left, right. Okay. Man, look at you, brother. Look at you showing up today. Help me sort through that. That would have taken me like an hour. I would have printed it, shown it to my kids. They would have been like, is this scratch paper? What are you doing? Why am I here? Awesome. I super appreciate it, man. Always good to have people show up to the show and help me out. So super, super pumped about this. So I'm going to put these on the, I'm going to put these up on the site and let people know. So I'll probably order, I had 27 people sign up at the $100 option to be able to get the swag and then also make a donation. But I get 35 hats and I can get a price break at 50. So I may order more and give people a chance to buy the hat and wrap it in. I'll wrap it up and then give people a chance to want to buy it. Like the hat. I think the hat costs like, $20 maybe all in shipped. So I'll give people a chance to buy it at like 40 and I'll donate $20 from you to the Challenge Athletes Foundation as well to be a part of it. So I'll put these up for the Ultimate Challenge if you did miss out, but are part of the challenge as well. So we'll get that going too. So super pumped. All right, awesome. Hey, folks, this has been great. Always love connecting with you. So as a reminder, these Friday 15-minute blocks, they'll always be on Facebook. They'll always be recorded. However, starting in April, I'm going to move them to Wednesday. I'm going to combine it with doing this talk as well to you, the general public. And then I'm going to transition directly from this into our internal office hours with our members only, where I talk about specific topics and so on. Those are resources that you can get if you're a member of the team. You can log in behind the scenes and connect with me, and you can always learn more at www.endurancenation.us/join. We have a content-only membership called Tribe, where you get a chance to access all those live events, all of our resources as well, just not the training plans and the one-on-one coaching. All right, awesome. Hey guys, so great to connect with everybody. Thanks again for joining me, particularly you, Jason, although I'm happy to see all of our viewers. Hope to see you guys next Wednesday. In the meantime, have a fantastic and epic weekend. I hope you've got something good planned. I'm still recovering from last weekend's virtual Everest, so I'm going to be active, but I'm still trying to be smart, trying to get my body back in order. I'll just have some fun on the run, I guess, right? Okay, take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend.